Now in here we've got another path that curls right here and goes right there with the footprints across the river. The problem with this is a lot of these footprints are deer footprints. So it's an obvious path through from the right side to the left side of the river. The problem is the game that I might catch if I put a trap here is way too big. Now, if I was in a survival situation and I wanted to catch a deer, I would put a trap, a big one right here, and see if I can catch the deer going across. This little snare wire is not gonna catch a deer. If a deer steps in this, it's gonna break this snare wire, which is why we use it, because we don't wanna stop something that's that big. But if I found different footprints than deer right here, this might be a good place to catch a muskrat or to catch a beaver or to catch something small. Let's see if I can find one more location that we would catch something small. So right here is a little bit of a slide. And what I mean by a slide is, the best example I can think of is like an alligator slide, where the alligator slides into the river. We're in Utah, so there's no alligator up here, but there are muskrat, there's beaver, there's other animals that will access the river at night, like little trash pandas, raccoons, those type of animals. And I can see right here where there's an old slide, but as I get down here and kneel down, I can see footprints going through that way and dropping down into the river. So since I've kind of got two paths, one good location for the snare might be right here, tied to one of these trees or tied to one of those trees. Another location for the snare might be right here, but I think the most likely position is going to be right here, because like I said, as I squat down and look at it, this is where the path is. There's been something travel through here, there has been something travel through there. It had some burrs on it and kind of smashed its way down, but the main path is right there. And you look over to the other side, you can see whatever is traveling through there is across the river across there. So it's a natural track point, and I'll just set this as an example to show you kind of how to do it. Now, a lot of people will put a stake in the ground and do all sorts of silliness, but why not use the root system of an existing branch? So if I use the root system of this existing branch, it's gonna fit right like that. And I'm just bending this till it holds it. And like I talked about earlier, if it just won't stay in the exact position you want it to, just grab a forked stick. Don't set it on the trapping mechanism, but just set it up right there. The last thing that I'm gonna do is make this a little bit bigger, because I think if I'm gonna catch anything right here, it's probably gonna be a raccoon. So if the animal comes through this way and catches it like that, it'll grab it. If it comes through the other direction, also catches like that. Even though this is a different direction, you don't have to be directional with your sticks, because that's just pushed in there and it will lock itself up. What you're looking for is to catch above the feet. So you need to have a little bit of a distance off the ground. There we go. So that's just a little bit of a basic on where to put the trap, find a path, find something recent. This is an example of something old. This is an example of something a little more recent. Ideally, I'd like to find rabbit droppings. I'd like to find fresh prints. I'd like to find a path in and out of the water, something that I know is accessed every single day. And then I want to put one or two different snares in that area and then move on and put up multiple snares. And then lastly, I want to know where every single one of my snares are, because I don't want them to be permanent. I can go so far as to put a little piece of reflective tape up here high so that I as a human recognize where that snare's at. Because I don't want to leave any of this stuff permanently in the environment without coming and picking it up after it's been used.